Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Inferno Line Stockholm, where we are playing the ESL Nordic finals right now. And we have been playing 2 games. And in this studio, you might notice a small rotation, seeing as of right now, I have 2 new analysts and we have 2 new casters. Welcome to the analyst desk.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So you've been casting the first 2 games. How has it been?
Been really, really good, actually. It's been some really good games. The first game was not as good as the second, but the second was really, really good. So it's also hard to compete,
Of course.
So many clutches in the second match. Really tense and unexpectedly tense, I have to say.
Well, that's always funny.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna. It's No Problem versus SkitLite. No Problem. That actually, they have a really impressive lineup. Even more impressive now when Cadian joined prior to this event as a stand-in. So, what do you think about the game, SkitLite versus Recent Gaming? No Problem.
The lineup on paper looks really, really good. But it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of in some ways the kind of Danish players that usually get cut in a way. Not to throw any punches or anything, but we have Barry who has been cut from a few teams, and he always kind of transitions into a worse team, and it kind of goes down a notch, but then fights his way back up, and then he gets cut again, and it's really, really sad for him. But it's also Cadian coming in. He's probably the best player on the team, on paper, and
they also have Blaze and Lomme. Also very, very talented players.
Definitely, Lomme a very good player from the start, and still is. But yeah, Cadian, just got kind of cut from SK, at least moved to a backup role, and now transitioned over to No Problem since they picked up Pimp. So, on paper it's a very good team, but it's also kind of
But is Cadian a temporary solution, or has he joined? Do you know that?
No, I don't know if you know, Daniel.
Actually, we just greeted them. They were kind of in a hurry to get ready and get themselves warmed up. And you don't want to disturb the players too much.
Of course.
So he said hello, and that was it, the passing by.
Maybe we'll hear after this event, depending on the outcome.
Maybe.
Yeah. We're going to have Mirage again. Thoughts on that?
It's definitely going to favor the strong orb in Cadian. I think he's going to pick it up.
Yeah.
At least he's confident in his abilities on that one. And Lomi, Barry, they know each other very, very well from previous lineups. They have played together previously. And I think that SkitLite have to come up with the best possible team play to break No Problem, if even. So.
Oh yeah, SkitLite actually, they were here last night or yesterday all day practicing right behind us here. So I think they will come very prepared. Yeah. But we have to see if that's enough to move No Problem. No Problem is a very, very talented team. How about you guys? Now you have been rotating to the caster's desk. How are you feeling, Volti?
I'm feeling good. What about you, Mark?
I'm great. I finally took the seat.
Are you more comfortable there?
Yeah,
than here?
totally.
Okay.
And ready to see some magic from the both teams. You've been talking about No Problem and the new lineup. I've got the chance of cast a lot SkitLite on the qualifiers, and I must say, Cadian is a great helper, but if they're not scared, Tom Squid is another great helper, and he can do really well.
So that's what you think. Tomsku is going to be smashing this one through if Cadian is not on point today?
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. At least from my experience of seeing a SkitLite, he's been on point on every match.
Okay. And then, from what I've seen from SkitLite, obviously I talked to them a lot before the games even started out, and we, slightly, I felt like, okay, they're going to be prepared as much as they can, obviously. And a lot of the time when I talked to them, I got the impression of the fact that they've always been kind of ready for this tournament. It's been one of the one more preparing tournaments that they're going to as well. They're knowing that, okay, now it's actually a big thing. Let's actually get ready, try to beat these guys and do the best out of the situation that we're always in.
Also, they've been putting a lot of effort here on Inferno Online since yesterday.
Yeah, since
and
yesterday.
They kept playing today until the match started. So
yeah. So with that being said, I feel like there's SkitLite or SkitLite. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but SkitLite. We're gonna go with that.
Okay.
I mean, and obviously they've got a coach, they've got a manager who's standing behind them, screaming, pumping them up. No, that's a big factor in it all as well. I'm not sure if No Problem does. I was over at No Problem as well, saw how they looked at the game, and so it doesn't look like they have a coach or anything. So I'm saying with the hype, maybe SkitLite can take this one home. It's obviously heavily favored for No Problem. Again, looking at the paper.
Yeah, exactly.
On paper, this is a game that, if they do not take this one home, what can they take home?
Exactly.
Pretty much. So.
But I mean, again, it's Kadian just playing for a couple of weeks with the team, I believe. And for SkitLite, they have the roster of always.
Yeah. We could talk about Kadian. They did that over at the analyst desk as well. He's not really new, but this is a teammate that he's coming into a team. He's got to take a role as something at least, and if he can't take a role as an opera, what is he going to be taking his role at?
Yeah, exactly.
And this is where, I mean, sure, No Problem. They're pretty much Danish players that can adapt to a lot of things, but is this going to be enough? Like, is Kadian not heavy enough as a player just to be confident, and like he has to be confident to play good? Is that going to be the case, or are we going to be seeing slight issues just due to the fact that Kadian is in there?
They still have Barry, and Barry is a really good player, so they can rely on him if he's not on point. But yeah, if it's still being a team play, they need to be all on point, not just on a single player.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we've got some technical difficulties. At this stage, I'm not sure what it is, but we'll get good info on that any second, I'm pretty sure. Computer trouble it is, so...
I believe their computers enough in around here to get it fixed, but yeah,
I'm sure they could just... should be fixed in a minute or two, they say, however. Yeah, you never know, right? You never know, but if it ever comes down to any computer being broken or anything...
we're live. That things happen.
Yeah, it's live, so things happen, and if a computer breaks, it's not like there's not a computer in here. Like
no, I mean, if a computer just break in Inferno Online, it is not a problem at all. I mean, I didn't count them, but it should be around 200 computers or
even more. I think
even
it's
more.
Like 300, 400. So Inferno Online, we can go through that as well. I'm not sure if anyone's really done it completely. Inferno Online is a gaming cafe for everyone to get into. If you live in Stockholm, it's in...
it's actually the biggest in the world.
Yeah, it's the biggest one in the world even. So it's on Odengatan 60, which is the address for this place, 60. Odengatan 60. Oh, Jesus.
There's
Swedish,
also a train station that goes beneath here.
Yeah, so if you want to swing by and watch the tournament live, you can do so as well. We have where the audience is out there, so we can't really see the audience, sad as it is, but... it's good. It's a big thing, and I mean, in the grand finals, I'm pretty sure there's going to be much hype on this tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm heading for tomorrow too. It will be really exciting, really.
So, that's Inferno Online pretty much. You can buy everything here, except from alcohol, pretty much. But that's
except from a computer, I believe as well.
Yeah, except from a computer. You just hire your seat, and you can sit and play for. It's like gaming machines, but with PCs, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, what really hooked me up is around there it's a Xbox place.
Oh yeah,
they have
the
like coaches, so you can see really
they're
really comfortable.
They're comfy. We can go into the brackets.
Yeah, that could be great because we already seen CS:GO bad spot getting a loss against Rocket. It was quite a surprise as we could have analyzed it. And we just seen recent gaming against BX3. I mean,
and I hope CS:GO Best Pot actually learned from their mistakes, because last time they vetoed a map that they thought Rocket was really good on, just due to the fact that maybe we can anti-strat them from knowing their base, but it didn't work out at all. Rocket absolutely demolished them, and this is Group B. Looking at that.
Yeah, No Problem versus SkitLite. We're about to see it this much. And after this, we have Torpedo against Demise. Even though we're not going to talk about it yet, because it's the World for the next one.
Oh yeah, the next game is gonna be Torpedo versus Demise. I'm pretty sure, unless we're seeing like the continued part of bracket A.
Yeah.
But I'm unsure on that. But Group B, however, Torpedo versus Demise. It's one of those games that I'm really looking forward to cast. I know Neto and Demise as well. He played for Lions back when they beat Penta actually in Fragment Masters. So no. It's quite a while ago, but still, he joins Demise.no. They're kind of that mixed-up team. If they could beat Torpedo, that would be amazing. I don't think that's going to happen on paper, though.
I don't know, but what I do know is Torpedo have been lacking for the last month. But then Donny just joined the team, and it just went fantastic from the beginning. They just kept winning. I think I've been talking with the manager, and they didn't lost a single match since Donny joined the team.
Okay. Well, that's quite big, I guess. I mean, one player can have such an impact on a team. It's quite. It can be
the team itself, we're playing really good. I had the chance of casting a lot of Torpedo, and they played really good. But yeah, they lost quite a couple of finals and group stages, and then when Donny came in, it was just perfect.
Okay, I see how it is. We want to thank our partners, obviously, Pantamera and SanDisk, for helping out with.
I'm about to take one of these back to Barcelona.
Take them home.
Yeah,
will be good.
Yeah, of course.
And SSD, why not? I mean, super quick like that. They load like I have one at home.
I don't.
I think
that's why I want one.
You want one? You load into Windows in a matter of a snap.
Yeah, and in a couple of seconds, I've heard.
So it's quite.
Even though I see already the full team of No Problem, so I believe the problem has been solved already.
No problem. Quite ironic. Since we have problems, right? Especially with their team as well. They're sitting up on the scene. Maybe that's why, because of the cables. But that's why. Maybe that's why we had some slight issues. But now we're seeing all 5 players in. They're just testing around so that they won't be disconnected or timed out or whatever. But here we go. Looks like they're getting into the game.
Any issue, better before the match starts than getting opposed on it.
Actually. Those pauses can be really annoying. Now, let's see here. Everyone, okay?
Seems like we're reloading the match, and I don't know if the knife round has been already made.
I'm not sure either. They were only 4 in, so maybe they're going with a knife round instantly here.
We'll be seeing anyway.
Yeah, we'll be seeing it anyway if it is. And I'm not sure. What's your prediction for this game? I didn't put my out there.
Oh, I'm gonna go for 16-14. But I'm going for SkitLite today. It's gonna be an interesting match for sure.
Okay. So
what are your thoughts about it, though?
My thoughts, I think one thing that is really important to point out here as well is that, sure, if SkitLite's been really prepared, they've been practicing over at Inferno Online, they've been boot camping as well. Even if they're that prepared, it doesn't really matter when it comes to individual skill. I feel like No Problem has got the greater chance to take this one home. I think we're gonna get into the game any sec.
Yeah, it seems like he's just not right. Yeah, it seems like we have to cast the knife round either way, and now we have Dabu stuck in a position.
No, but he can move now.
Yeah, come on. Anyway, we have the knife already.
Yeah, and it's Mirage. We said that on the CT side it's gonna be a bit easier for both of these teams. I'm unsure, though. The T side might be really good for at least SkitLite if they can come up with tactics that would be really surprising. Here we go, the knife round, though, and it looks like it's in favor of SkitLite to take this one home, actually.
Yeah, actually it seems like they are already now 3 versus 1, and then finally it's Tomsk taking the last kill.
So let's see what they're going to be.
Swappity, yeah.
But obviously, you want to play the most rounds on the preferable side. So
when you're in a best of 1, it's really important to get the best advantage possible at the start. That way you maybe can tilt the enemy or make them think, maybe we're not good as usual. Yeah,
and get your momentum going.
Exactly.
Have that momentum on point. So here we go, SkitLite versus No Problem, NP. We're gonna call them NP or No Problem. What do you think?
No problem. Let's go for the full name.
Okay. Let's go. First round coming up, and it will be the pistol right here, right now. And as they fly into the game, it will be Cadian going really offensive up on slope. Here you go. And they went to RS, so
It wasn't live. It wasn't live. Even though that was a nice headshot, though.
Live. There we go. Okay, now we have it. There we go, finally. SkitLite versus No Problem. And I'm not sure if Cadian is going to do the same thing now since he realized that there was no one on A. If they took this as live, I'm not sure what was going on. Shaker is the only one in CT to see if anyone comes up on slope, but they don't. And look at this. This is so smart play. SkitLite, have they been watching demos or anything
Yeah,
recently?
it seems like, because we had already the push from Tomsku.
Now, this is important. Here you go. Cadian goes in for the first entry. Yes, that second nasty one coming up by him. And here you have it. Lamy has to back off. Doesn't really matter at that stage in the game. They still get the kill. Sure, 4-on-3 situation, but it's going to be hard to retake. And Holes is just around the corner. He misses out on a couple of shots, though. And look at that. 3-on-3 because of that fact. Being Glace with a Glock 18 is going to go in for a couple of pistol shots here and there, but it doesn't really work out entirely. And look at that, the smoke. This might be crucial. If they get this defused, it will be impossible. They go.
Then they could go for the ball blocking, but it seems like it's not.
Shaker!
Oh,
Shaker!
he makes it!
Oh my god! He had the time to do so as well, and there you have it, 1-0. SkitLite, lucky enough to have that smoke in hand in the late game of the round.
I was expecting more like body blocking in front of him, so the bullets go to his body.
But the decoy worked as well.
Yeah, exactly. Wasn't expecting this, but even though SkitLite got the first round, and then they have the money now.
Yeah. So with that being said, I mean, sure, they No Problem earned a lot of money just by getting these kills and so not even the plants. So it's good for them to start up and launch with. But then again, you forcing around like this when you could have a really good buy round in the next upcoming round. Maybe not the best one you could ever have, but you know, a good one and a nice one to play as your output with. But here you go, SkitLite. They're going to be going down to Holst with that Tech 9, and as they push in here, it's going to be quite hard for them to hold this down. Stavi goes in for another one, and oh my god, it's not going to be hard at all. Just as I mentioned it, they're going to get these kills, and Lamy left alone on the side. One by one, they just fall apart. And, you know, they waste so much just by not getting any kills here. Sure, they get one kill, but they invest so much money into a round.
That's what I was about to talk. It was Barry getting an AK, and the rest of the team with Tech 9s and armor and helmet. I was more like expecting they planted the bomb in the third round, then saving for the second, and get a full buy on the third round, just as they usually do for the teams. But I was just surprised at Barry going with the AK and the team with the Tech 9. So
yeah, so SkitLite here, 2-0, and they're going to have the economical and equipment-wise advantage as well as they throw these smokes over to, or they try to block them off from getting up towards slope. Lamy and the gang, they just fall apart in here. We have Skirk, he's down at 2 HP, so that's a free tilt to go in for a bow, though, but Glacier with the Glock 18 is going to go down as well. And one by one, they just fall apart. Not a single frag coming up here. And that's what I was about to mention here is that, you know, sure, if you invest a couple of dollars into a round, at least you need to get a couple of frags and even a plant with it sometimes. And, I mean, sure, if it doesn't work entirely, but like, at least get a couple of, you don't need to win the round, but at least get a couple of frags with.
The bomb planted or something, but it didn't happen. And
this round they didn't buy anything, so it didn't really matter, this last round that we just saw. But here we go, No Problem again.
And it was the second round that they didn't kill a single member of the SkitLite squad. So it's quite good for them that they can come and stack some money. So and Tomsk already have the AWP, so we're gonna see some action here.
But the bomb is dropped.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about this. I mean, sure, if you go in for a couple of entries, but you still need that one member to come up from behind, or come up behind and pick up that bomb. I think that would be Holst at this stage, picking up that bomb. Arcadian, yeah, he does. And they switch over towards the A side. That's going to be... And Lamy's in a good position as well. I mean, look at this. This is a really smart play coming up by them, just playing around with the steps. If Lamy starts stepping here, starts shooting anything, he could decoy the best out of this situation in this position he ever could. SkitLite are definitely going to fall for that since it's been so many B rushes from MP so far. We'll see the Lamy coming up here with the AK-47. And just by breaking that bend, a lot of provocative play is going to be happening from SkitLite. We'll see how this goes, though. Early nades coming up, and Barry goes in for the first kill. Stavi just falls down. Skirk here with the M4A1S, and just by time, Glace goes in for the frag at the exact time. And Barry with another one. What is that? SkitLite. There's not a chance in the world they're able to hold this down, and Lamy decides to back off, knowing that Jalu's probably gonna be on the B side either way. So let's deny
that's the moment to save the FAMAS, even though it was just a matter of timing this round, because the moment that the players from SkitLite quit looking the point, the position, the pixel itself. It was the moment when the No Problem guys were coming in and checking it. So good job from No Problem getting the first round. And well, either way, it's SkitLite. We'll keep on buying. Scar getting the AVP for Tomsku, and we're gonna see the first AVP battle. Cadian against Tomsku. Will they meet on middle?
And we'll see. Tomsku is definitely going to middle, and looks like Lami and the gang wants to provoke them by using these smokes and nades as much as they can. We'll see though. Tomsku with the AWP. Yeah, Cadian is still hiding behind that smoke, so not really exposed in this position yet. He hasn't shot any shots, so with that being said, SkitLite doesn't have too much info of what weapons they have and where they're placing them. SkitLite though, at the same time, I feel like the fact that they're so spread out all over this map is worrying me a bit, because MP, looking at how they're placing this up, it might just go to their advantage. Look at this. It's only if Jalu doesn't expect that. Cadian with the boost. Incredible one coming up by them. And they really know how they want to execute into these sites. And even if they get that kill, look at that. They're not even hesitating. They're just... Or yeah, they are hesitating, and that is what they're doing. You know, they're just hiding behind the walls of this map for as long as they can. Barry and the gang goes in for a couple of offensive kills, obviously, but they make them go really, really slow, and I think that's the minor issue here for SkitLite. Obviously, what they can do now to counter that would be to go really offensive in the beginning of rounds. But other than that, yeah, Stavi's gonna go down. This is too obvious. Blaze knows that he's there.
Yeah, but anyway, he's gonna try and probably save the Amph, even though they know his position and they're gonna just go for the Hunterino. And finally, it's Glaze taking the kill on there. 3-2. And it seems like it's gonna be an eco for SkitLite. They tilt the money.
Yeah, and it's in this scenario as well. If we take a look at the stats, like, I mean, sure, Cadian and the gang, they've got a good bank coming up, but they really need to have that consistency to make sure they can bank up off of this. 2 to 3, I mean, it's good to start off with, especially when you've gotten these 2 rounds. Now you just need to play that consistency play that comes in. I mean, Stavis, sure, he goes in for a berry right here, but they need to get that reply as soon as possible. Holes here with the AK-47, and the gang, you know, they're just playing this really, really safe.
But though so far the pistols are working out. They got a pill skill. It's Barry, one of the top fraggers from No Problem, already down. So the kill was good for Stoff. And he's keeping the position. What will they do? It seems like the bomb is going to get dropped again just in case they got caught.
Well, Stavi's got a good position to go in for one, but no one else is on that A side to go in for a reply, and that's the problem right now. Glaze with the AK-47, if he gets stopped really quickly down on Shadow, then they could be executing easily. Holst goes in for the kill, and this is where Jalo, yeah, he's already smoked off, so he's not on the side. There's nothing that he can do to stop this from happening. And or actually, what was that? Was that through the smoke? No, he jumped up.
No, yeah, exactly. He caught to the through the stair. And Tomsko, if he got the position, he might come from behind. It will do now. And the easy shots onto Cadian. There was no AVP anymore for the members of No Problem, and they do probably have a problem now.
Yeah. But look at this, they haven't got a plant, and this is what's worrying me a lot here. 20 seconds on the clock, the bomb is dropped on the site, and there's nothing that they can do. Look at this.
They just have to play the time now.
There's nothing that Glaze can do. He has to go in for these kills, and look at that. SkitLite, they're playing this really, really smart by going back and forth to make sure that there's no one able to make this happen.
But what the hell? Glaze just
with the
triple kill. Amazing.
What is that?
The only thing
you can hear him out here.
The only thing you can expect from this round, you had a player from SkitLite on Ram, another on Tickets, and the other one was, I believe, on Stairs, and he got the 3 kills.
What is really impressive here is that Glaze, he didn't have much time to work with, and instead of deciding upon going with a bomb, he went in for these kills, which was really, really impressive.
Yeah.
He was sure that they were that close, and I feel like the info on No Problem right now it's on point. As long as they've got the info they've had so far in these scenarios where you know, 1 of 3 situations, they clutch that home. What is going on? NP, they're getting out on this 8th site, and it will be Stavi and Skirk to hold this down from different positions and angles, trying to get a kill through that smoke. Barry being really, really offensive, and I really like this about No Problem. They could go offensive at the same time. They're playing this slow, and I feel like it's gone their way several times. Barry here will be whitened out in the first place. Cadian already got another one. Jalu and Stavi fall down, and here you have it. SkitLite, there's not much that they can do but rely on the fact that they'll be able to save. And look at that, Barry. And that's what I was talking about as well. If you want to go offensive, do it slow so that you can block them from even getting a save.
Yeah, but they're doing so good. They're breaking the tempo every time.
Yeah.
I mean, either they go slow in a round, or they should do it like this. They just rush it, and it's working so far. They caught the SkitLite on a buy round out of position, and they planted so fast the bomb. I believe in 20 seconds the bomb was already planted.
So here we go again.
And we can see of Barry, he had, I believe he had money. And he goes for a Mach 10. It was working so far. I mean, that was a nice headshot on the stuff.
Right. When you know that they're down to a pistol round or an eco overall, then utilize that to in the best way by going for these SMGs so that you can earn a lot of money off of it. And that's exactly what he's doing, going offensive. He's the only player to do so as well. So they're not risking much by letting them pick up that Mach 10. It would be if they took home the round, but I think that's highly doubtable at this stage since they got the plant down. But Cadian misses out on some crucial shots right here. He goes in for the kill. Tomsku, he falls down, and there's plenty of kills coming at them right here. Glaze with another one, and that's just a good one. Skirk, though, coming up, but there's not much happening in there. Glaze able to get that going.
They're not finding themselves in there, as we can see.
It's still a good round from SkitLite.
Yeah,
definitely.
They managed to get a couple of kills, and then
they have the op now.
Yeah, exactly. They have the up on Tomsku, and as you can see, it's Tomsku leading so far for SkitLite, and it's Glaze, Cadian and Barry for the members of No Problem, doing a really good performance in this Inferno Online.
Yeah, Cadian is gonna be Molotov off, not allowed to go offensive, but look at that, Jalu and SkitLite. This is something I really like about what they're doing. They're always pushing up together to make sure they have these replies. And No Problem, they lost their one member now. The CTs can just back off and rely on the fact that, okay,
they
they've
got the
one
first kill already.
Yeah,
so.
they can just rely on the fact that, okay, they've got one less of a chance surviving as they push into a site. So Glacier with the AK-47 goes in for the first kill. Skirk falls down, and this is where he might as well just go in for the second one. Tomsku with the op misses the shot, and he can just go offensive here. He's got the balls to do so as well, but Tomsku denies him in the end of it all. And Shaker with the A4 is going to go in for the kill on Halls. Might that be a second? The spray doesn't work all the way. Barry goes in for the kill. 3-on-2 situation, and Cadian and Barry, they're alone here. They need to work this together in the best possible way, and Cadian switches over to the pistol, gets that kill. Jalu falls down, and Stavi and Barry, they need to play this together.
Oh, what a shot. It was just a pixel showing.
And Cadian has been on point with this one. Tomsku, though, down to 12 HP. He's meeting an AK-47. Missing that first shot is going to be so crucial. And he's jumping around. He's exposing himself, and Barry goes in for the kill.
He was even still blinded, I think, so not a possibility for him. Even though we can see already Barry and Cadian 9 and 10 kills, as well as Glazer, just doing magnificent on this match.
That's something you need to take into account as well, as that SkitLite, sure if they're playing this good in the beginning of the rounds. I mean, they got the entries and they push up middle, they try to do these unpredictable things, but it doesn't work in the end because of the fact that they haven't got the retakes. What they need to focus on for the most part is that they can't get MP into the sites.
Yeah, exactly.
If MP gets into the sites, that's when it's all over. SkitLite, there's not a chance in hell that they're able.
Yeah. Also, SkitLite, NP are playing so good.
Yeah.
Saving the smoke for when they really go up plant the bomb, and just utilizing the timing when the bomb is planted and denying anything from SkitLite for the retake.
And I think that's something that we're seeing from them as well, is that I'm not sure if it's known from themselves, but at this stage in the game, it feels...
Whoa, that shot from his stuff.
Goes in for the 2K, and Katie and Lilami, they go down. This might just turn things around. Stavi, he's in a position that he's yet not exposed in Glaze. If he goes down here, I'm pretty sure Stavi has an idea of this.
Yeah, also, they got the call in the wrong position, even though he has spawned a stuff already. But it's finally a 4 kills for the stuff, securing the round for SkitLite, and well, securing one of the AKs as well.
And 4-6, 11th round coming up. We thought this would be a carnage from MP. At least I didn't. You thought it would be from SkitLite. I think both of us are wrong.
But not in a carnage though. I thought it was more like a close match, even though it's been a close match so far. Maybe not all the members from SkitLite seems to be in shape, but at least the one I was hoping for. It's doing a great match, though.
Let's see here. The smoke coming up inside of apartments. Holes here, gonna go in for the counter smoke, and this is something I really like. Jalu, though, he's in a good position to get close range kills, and the rest of the team is really turning quickly here. So SkitLite's got the support play that they really need to take home this round, and it's like Cadian and Glaze. Sure, if they get 2 of them, but the rest of the team has already turned. And Jalu, he's able to turn around. They don't even react to each other. Cadian with another one. The AWP on point goes in for the first kill, and look at that, the Molotov. He knows the Jalu's there. He's gonna get forced out. Skirk with a good position to get the kill as well, and yeah, they crossfire him. SkitLite actually, they exploit their positions to the absolute.
Yeah, it was an amazing round. When they heard the first foot in these apartments, they sent their informants so fastly, and they were on a good position there. The flashes running in, and all the 2 players from No Problem, they were blinded when they jumped down. So really good round from SkitLite, and getting the lead shrinked from the members of No Problem, 5-6.
Yeah. So with that being said, Alame, Berry, and Holes, they're only down to these Tech 9s. They still go by the Force though, and this is something that in particular shocks me because No Problem, it feels like their output always is on that side of, okay, as long as we've got heavy armory and heavy weaponry, we're able to take these rounds home. But now that they're in kind of an under advantage when it comes to the equipment value, it's important to note, obviously, yeah, they're going with Tech 9, so you can pretty much just rush and spray with those.
Yeah, there's just SMGs right now.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. It's SkitLite who has to play a good game pretty much. They just need to realize that this is the case as soon as possible. Lamy and the gang, they're not really allowed to get through to this site. It's Cadian with the AK-47 together with Glaze left alone here. But they go in for these kills, and shocking as it is, I mean, they deal crucial damage here and there. The AWP picked up by Cadian. He goes in for the kill as Jalu misses out on a couple of shots. And if he turns this around, I'm not sure what I'm going to believe anymore. Alright. And the one in connector, he spots the head out, goes in for the first kill, misses out on the first shot though, and this is exposing himself. That flashbang, buying more time for the CTs to do what they want to do, and Shaker is coming up from behind. They hear these steps, and Cadian, if he plants open wide for CT, he's pretty much dead by now unless Shaker is taking his time, and he does. And look at this, this is definitely doable for Cadian.
Oh, that magnificent flash
is gonna make him fall down, and you know he would be lucky if he got the kill, but yeah, I mean he didn't turn around in time, and because of that, 6-6 is what we're gonna be seeing. SkitLite, they're definitely showing up to the show.
Yeah, of course, they came back after what it was looking like a tilt situation, 6 rounds in a row for the members of No Problem, and we've seen stuff come big in the last rounds. Really impressive. Even though it's gonna be now a scrappy buy for No Problem, they did the double AK setup and the last round, and we see Glaze and Lom having to go with Galils. And just Cadian with the AK.
And this is something that worries me again, that they go for these half or not really full buy rounds. They don't save till they have the fullest amount of money. I mean, sure, if you can buy for the next upcoming round, even if it's a budget, but you need to win the earlier round that you budgeted pretty much, that you play with a low budget on. So with that being said, SkitLite, we'll see how this goes for them. Shaker and the gang on this B side, they need to reply as soon as they start meeting people in holes here. He's going to be Molotov'd off, not allowing him to get through entirely, but still, it's good provocative play coming up here in Glaze. He could easily fake this if he just uses a couple of nades here, and look at that. He's only got a smoke.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm talking about. If you don't have the utility to fake anything, don't even try. Try to go in for the exact play and go straight into a site after using your utilities. Here we go, Glaze. He's already thrown his smoke over towards CT, trying to push through, and it works! SkitLite, they've got Shaker at that exact time, turning back towards Sofa, knowing that, okay, yeah, it might be B, it might be A, I'm not too sure yet. And, you know, this insecurity of not knowing which site they want to go through is really, really good. It could be exploited to the maximum here, though. Individual skill on the B side works perfectly, and SkitLite has the absolute advantage to take that one home after getting the first entries.
Actually, what scares me from SkitLite, they're missing so many of the sprays with the M4, and they are missing a lot of kills by that, just leaving No Problem take the kills for them. And we're gonna see a full eco right now, so it didn't work out. This is scrappy buys on the last 2 ones, and they have to do the eco now for the round 14.
Yeah, and this is the round before halftime, or before the last round of the half. So Glaze coming up here with the tech, nice. Skirk and the gang up on the stairs. Cadian goes in for the first kill. Skirk falls down, and look at that SkitLite. There's not in this scenario. there's not much that we can expect from NP either. It would be if they've gone in for 2 kills, and that's what they do. They invest a couple of dollars here and there, and they profit well off of it. It would be better if they got the plant, obviously, but then again, it's gonna be really hard when you're meeting SkitLite with the heavy equipment that they have. I mean,
Yeah, sure.
19K remaining after only having 3 members remaining.
Yeah, I mean, they've been buying everything they want. They still having so much utility, as you can see. 50 seconds remaining, 3 smokes, a couple of, and now it's 3 Molotovs and flashes and everything. So even though they will have this for the next round, 8-6 on the score, and we have a winner for the first half.
I am honestly in a bit of a shock here, because the other teams that we saw, and when we were at the analyst desk, we talked about the fact that many teams tend on the CT side of Mirage and us to use their utilities really, really quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's not the same thing we're seeing from SkitLite. They're definitely switching that up, proving us that, okay,
They know the tempos
they know
really well.
Yeah, so they always have the idea of how they want to save these smokes, and there's only one use on the entire map so far. They want to have the info before anything else pops up. Here we go. Holst and Glaze, though, they get the first 2 kills, and Tom's going to stop. It falls down. That's another one.
And
Holst
they
just
putting this
turns
even
around.
2-on-2 on his Skirk does have a really bad position, the only one defending on A, but the bomb is sitting close to the middle. They still have to go for it. Glaze gonna have the nicest position if the Skirk decides to move. Glaze got it in there. So we're gonna see what they do. Definitely they will commit this to the A side. But Skirk Gain doesn't have the best position at all.
I mean, it doesn't matter what Skirk does here, really. There's not a chance in the world he's able to move out as long as
he
Glaze
does
is-
now.
yeah.
But the kill was easy for Glaze. Now it is just Shake here, the last member alive. He's
got-
already
Yeah, I mean, look at his utility.
Yeah, he still have everything most.
So if he could just utilize that.
Oh, and that was the bomb, and it just dropped it in top of the box. So this is favorable for them.
It definitely is. SkitLite, though. And this is what I'm not understanding individually from Shaker is, I mean, he has a Molotov, he has a nade.
Why don't throw it? You
Why
know
not
that the
throw it
bomb was
as soon as
in
you
the
spot
ground.
the bomb out? Why not just throw that out there so that he can't go in for this plan, putting a lot of pressure on him at this stage? I mean, he could have made it so easy for himself, yet it's, maybe in the pressured up panic situation, it's hard.
And he takes a kill at 2 HP. I wasn't expecting this at all.
Mind-blowing stuff, bruh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
so
9-6. It's gonna go to the next half. Wasn't
It will.
expecting this round after all.
yeah, definitely not. Well, I mean, 2 HP remaining. He still didn't use that incendiary nade that he had. So
Not the nade.
yeah.
I believe it wasn't throw yet.
so I don't really know what. I would not expect.
You're just in
that.
shock
I'm
right
in
now,
shock.
Multi.
I'm just in the shock, bro. Yeah, the second half is. Yeah, he stood up. He stood up.
Yeah, I'm short like that, and I had to stood up to see
See
good
the screen.
Yeah,
Okay. But yeah, that
short
first.
cuts a thing.
But this first map, I mean, Mirage being one of those maps where you wouldn't really expect it to go the way it did in the first place. And this first half, I feel like SkitLite definitely showed up to the show. And this is something as well. We didn't expect SkitLite to play that well.
No, I mean, they started losing 6 rounds in a row, and they didn't lose a single one. They
Right.
just came back.
And it's kind of that team play that you need. I'm not sure if it's because it's on LAN or whatever that they got that momentum flowing, and as soon as they break through with one round,
And there comes
they
what
can
you
keep-
were talking about. They have a coach and a manager
Yeah.
that can keep the mind setting on. And that
Exactly.
definitely works so good. Even though we're on the second half, SkitLite now attacking, and it is no problem defending. It seems like gonna go for an A push.
Yeah, it looks like it, and it looks like it's going to be successful to get out. Now, NP, they're backing off, and they're behind this side just because they
the
know that the
position
offense
from
is
Holt
there.
this is magnificent, and now with Lom taking the couple. They planted the bomb though, but it's gonna go for the guys of no problem right now.
Lame with 4 kills right there. What is that? This guy is a monster. 9-7, and I mean, this is something as well. I'm not sure if No Problem's been looking out for demos from SkitLite, or if they've been pracking against each other, something along the lines of that, maybe. But, I mean, anyway around, it's like, okay, No Problem. They had a good idea of understanding that, okay, they're on the T side now, probably going to go really offensive.
Yeah.
Because that's what they did when they had post plants a couple of times.
What I don't understand, if you throw a smoke into tickets, why you rush tickets? Just keep a stronghold inside the A side.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, they just decide to do. Anyway.
There we go. No problem. 4-on-3 situation, and they've gotten a couple of frags to work with. The 2 first going out, and that's Stavi and Shaker together with Skirk left alone here. And it's SkitLite again here with a harsh situation. Obviously, there's not much that you can do. No problem. What they could do now would be to pretty much just break them down, ruin them, not allowing them to even...
Yeah, maps like that, like this,
Yeah,
it work out if you have to do an eco when you're CT. But when you're T, if you not just push aside, the pistols usually don't work that well.
The economical aspect as well. I mean, if no problem gives away any weapon here and they're allowed to save, that can start building back for SkitLite if they start winning in the next upcoming few rounds.
As well, we see Lomi and Kadian with the M4s, and if you lose that on the second round, it's
look at this.
Painful.
Skirk's coming up from behind. They've sneaked up all the way to CPL, and Lamy has the idea. He goes in for the flashbang, decides to not go in for the peak, however, after that.
And they got an M4 now in the hands of Skirk, so they could definitely make it work, and it does. It finally takes out Kadian. It's a big kill so far, and there's still Glaze at 5 HP. The bomb planted, though, into the fire, though.
Doesn't really matter at this stage. I mean, no problem. We're going to be pushing through. Skirk is going to be shot from behind. They know that he's there. 2-on-2 situation, and there's no heavy equipment right now that SkitLite can utilize. And Shaker down on slope. Sure, he can make that defuse. Yeah, he gets a free kill on the defuse, but if he can make sure he wins this round for the team, that would be incredible. But Holes just buddy covering him right there, and that's exactly what we were talking about back on the B side.
But even though they took away 3 weapons, they planted the bomb, they made really well for the round.
Yeah. And 9-8, 18th round coming up. I'm still in shock that No Problem has such a good read on SkitLite, who I wouldn't expect them to be so prepared for. I feel like SkitLite are a little bit underrated in this tournament. But then again, you talked about the AWPs from this team, and Tomsku you said that he was one of the top players. Kadian has been really showing up to the battle, though, and I think that's the reason to why Tomsku hasn't really got the liability to go through.
Of course. I agree with that. Even though that's the first kill, it's just soft taking Barry onto this balcony. And, well, Kadian, 6 kill as well, Tomsku falling.
Was that through it?
Yeah, it was through it. And also headshot. But yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about it. Even though it's a 4-on-4 situation, Kadian still have the AVP, so it is a good asset for the members of No Problem. And it seems like so far they're really spread from SkitLite. I don't really like this. Being too much of this spread on the map.
But, you know, it doesn't really matter that they're spread out. I mean, they got the one member inside a mid. That's Stavi, who can eventually get up or get info from short. So he knows that if there's anyone on short, then there's probably one more on the B side if they spot out people on the A side first.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they're playing around with here. SkitLite wants some info before pushing in.
There's this main thing on Mirage and also Cache. If you get control of middle, you have half of the round on.
Yeah. So we'll see how this goes, and obviously for No Problem, what they're deciding to do here and what they're deciding to go with is just relying on the fact that, okay, people are going to be coming at us any second either way. MP, as long as we're just behind the walls of this map, they're going to be coming through and into our sights. Holes goes in for a first, goes in for a second, but doesn't really hit those shots. Shaker with a kill, and 2-on-3 situation because of that fact being Shakers with the bomb plant going down. Kadian flashing, not himself through, but will be decoying just by using that one flashbang. It's not planted for Jallo either, which is a bit worrying here. He has to go in for a first frag on Glace, and that would be the one to focus on at first. But I think this is going to be really, really hard for him unless he hits.
Oh, he does finally, but it's Kadian with the AVP securing the round at the end for No Problem.
I like how they played that as well, having Lamy defusing the bomb as Kadian is in a long-range position to go in for a kill like that with AWP. They utilized that to the best possible scenario.
Yeah, actually they were defending the man on the defuse.
Yeah, so 9-9, and I mean, No Problem are really showing up to this one as well. Playing the CT side, it feels like they're a bit more comfortable. Obviously, SkitLite won the knife round.
Yeah.
So starting off in a good
favorable position.
Yeah, in a preferable position. So No Problem. We'll see how it continues for them. Obviously, Lamy here in the gang, they're just
committing onto this A push. They throw already the smokes and the flashes, and so far that they just gonna stomp on it. They didn't realize that it was a stop from behind. Lamy does the same. He's inside of the smoke berry as well in connector, but Tomsku seeing, but there's Glaze with the M4
Kadian
covering. Yeah.
I mean, this is where No Problem shows up, or shows us at least that, okay, they're not bad at all. I mean, look at that. What's that?
That jam
What's
shot.
that? Lamy.
They're really good at building a stronghold. Even when they are just a couple of members in there, they play like inside the smokes. They take these little corners and they just put it to work.
What I really love about No Problem is how we can always hear them shout whenever they do something funny. It's like, okay, we heard you guys. If you do not know what's up and what we're talking about, this is actually at LAN, ladies and gentlemen. So if you live in Stockholm, come by Inferno Online. It's on Odengatan 60, and you can check out the tournament by yourself, by your own eyes.
You got the direction printed in your head. I mean, nice job on that.
Thanks, man.
Even though, again, the AWP battle is Tomsku and Cadian, who's going to get the win now. They're just, seems like, in a safe position, any of them. Not really peeking so much.
There's no op in middle, though, from the T side, and this is what's worrying me, because Cadian's got a position to go in for a first kill, then he can just back off and go in for another one if they decide to push towards B.
So finally Barry seeing someone in middle from connector, not connecting any of the shots though.
No, and this is where Cadian decides to back off, knowing that, okay, as long as they've got control over middle, don't let them come up on towards A, because that's the problem. If they get up towards A, Cadian can't support quickly. If they do spot them going up towards short, though, he can go in for those kills easily from the B side, or even go offensive towards
and
short.
he does already. Cadian taking down on Tomsku, so no Vaporino for the SkitLite team, and it seems like NP are again building a stronghold in both of the sides.
So we'll see how this goes. Skirk in a good position actually to get that first kill, but since the vent is not yet broken, the info will be there, and Barry is going to be ready for the kill. Skirk falls down. Stabby at that exact point as well, meeting Lamy in a position where, okay, you wouldn't want to meet Lamy in a position like that. He's up on the stairs, goes in for another one, and what is that? They just turned it around. And this is what I'm talking about. Look at the time. What are they gonna do?
Yeah, well, they took down a member, but what else?
If they get Stabby now, that would be money blocking. But yeah, they covered in the last second.
He just kept the spray, and magically the bullet came in.
Look at his money, 1.25. That's nothing. That's nothing to do.
But they keep on buying, though. We have a Galil and a couple of AKs as well, a Tech 9, and stuff will have to go with this Glock. They're doing the same as No Problem on the first half. They just kept on buying, but finally Tomsku taking a kill. They're already inside A side, and Tomsku can come from behind, taking as well on holds. They have now the chance of planting the bomb. Tomsku will keep on pushing, but it is Glaze taking the kill. But even though sitting now on 5 HP, and that's not looking good for the members of No Problem.
Oh, he knows that he's in the corner, and this is where Shaker, he goes in for the kill on Glaze. Cadian still goes in for the first kill, though, and this is where you can back off.
Yeah, but he's used the last member alive for No Problem. They know where he is.
Yeah,
so.
Obviously on the CT side, you get money for staying alive. He goes in for another one, and I'm not sure if this is going to happen. He finds Skirk.
Takes out
what is going on?
15 takes the kill.
Cadian, are you real with me? Goes in for the fake defuse. That's behind the smoke. And look at this. Look at this. Jolly thinks this is real. Goes in for the kill.
Takes the kill.
Ooh. Lucky one coming up. Lucky one coming up. But Cadian played that really, really smart.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you throw out the smoke after going in for the def sound, and then just turning around, running around the side, trying to get the info as he jumps down. He heard where he jumped down from. Didn't necessarily take the peek because he thought that, okay, it's unnecessary to die from...
Also, he was being shot through the smoke, so he had the position of the enemy. But, yeah, actually, it was a nice shot at the end from, I believe it was... Jalo, yeah.
And here we go. Tomsku goes down to Cadian, and that's the battle we've been talking about for the entire game. Like, okay,
and so far it's not going the way I betted, though. Don't worry, I paid the drink for today.
You do?
Yeah.
Good, man, good. Yeah, but Cadian, at least he went in for that first kill, and this is where we can pretty much put to fact and on paper that Cadian is a bit quicker than Tomsku when it comes to those off battles. And Tomsku is obviously, he's playing the T side. He comes a little bit late into the middle. So, you know, in favor of Cadian, obviously, but I don't think, like any day, Cadian would take him on a one-on-one with that AWP either way.
Yeah.
So,
finally, Jalo finding the head of Shoal. So they got already a kill inside A side, and they decide to bring the bomber on there. They will enter just with 30 seconds remaining, I believe, or 40. They don't have so many smokes yet, so it's just a couple of smokes, a couple of Molotovs, and yeah, flashes as well. But they need to come up big in there. Lom and Glaze just have the nicest position ever. It's Glom from behind with the 5-7 taking the kill, and he keeps on shooting, but Jalo make the refrag. It does as well with Barry, but Glaze was still inside the point. with the pistol, taking the kill. Now from behind is a stove, and he will not take the kill. I was already about to say he was going to take the kill with his glaze, taking the kill with the, I believe it was a P250, and well,
yeah,
they
had a low budget and they still take that round home. It's quite, I mean, it's ridiculous to say that, okay, SkitLite are going to take this game home after seeing those kind of rounds, because still, in the end, it's like, okay, no problem. They've got too much individual skill to deal with, and when it comes to these battles where you're meeting them one by one, it's always going to be in favor of no problem, pretty much.
Yeah,
It's only the only time we've seen SkitLite win is when they push together and as a unit. This time around, okay, Katie goes in for a first. He spots more people out, decides to back up, and this is kind of that panic position with the AWP where, okay, I'm up close, I'm probably dead. Barry and Glaze plays that perfectly together, though, and by the nade, they get skirked together with the rest of the gang. So great play coming up by them, 13-10.
Yeah, but I agree with what you said right now.
Yeah.
They are good at just entering the sites like a wrecking ball.
Yeah.
But when it comes to enter individually, the individual skill by no problem just shines. And they got the problem there. So if they realize about it, they just have to act as a team more.
Yeah, and something to note here as well is that no problem, they need to start reuniting a little bit more. You know, the rounds that they do take home on the seaside is due to are thanks to the fact that they're playing as a unit. Here you go again, Hulse, Lamy, and the gang. They're just gonna be holding this down, and it's really on these replies. This is what I'm talking about. Stabby and Skirk, they go in for these replies, and they pick up, for example, whatever they need. You know, if there's any nades or anything, they can utilize that in the end of the round as well.
Yeah. Exactly.
Continuing with nades that they already had, like if they already threw out their AG, they get another one picked up because of the fact that, oh, the CT's dropped one. Now Align, MP, Barry goes in for the 2K, ruins it all, just as I mentioned it. And Tomsku here, he's only got a Galil to work with, and I wouldn't say it's necessary to risk too much here. I mean, you miss out.
But now he has been spotted, so he has to go YOLO right now, and it's finally Kaden taking the kill. They got rifles. It's not supposed to take a rifle down with a PT-50.
Oh, look at this. Look at the money. This is what I'm talking about. If you had the Galil now, if you went in for a save, I mean, sure, if there was a timer ticking and sure if there was a lot of time left, but if you went in for a save instead and had a Galil in this round, you could deal more economical damage to your enemies. Looking at the stats right now, I mean, they're not into the best economy either, MP.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you could deal economical damage, that would be even better in this round because that's what you're going to be needing to do. So 14-10, we'll see how this continues. Ladies and gentlemen, this is ESL Nordic Nationals, and we will be seeing the 25th round coming up.
It seems like another eco for the members of SkitLite. They have a couple of Tech 9s, 3 P250s, and they're just gonna wreck inside this A side. But the stronghold again from the members of No Problem, it's working so far. Even though the Soft taking the first kill, and man, he's just coming big for today. And Kaden, if he know, he's just gonna pull the trigger. Skirk already taking another kill. It's Kaden now finally with the AVP showing the kill with the stop. And he's does as well with Shaker. Glaze coming big and taking down on Jal and Tomku with a double kill as they kept on. And Skirk taking from a corner the kill on Hulse.
Incredible
round. SkitLite, they had nothing to work with. They take a round like that home with having 2 members remaining.
Yeah, also it was an eco, so they had nothing at all.
And this is, you know, nonetheless, we were talking about that Galil. We went into that Galil. It wasn't even needed. They dealt economical damage as well as they really
what's the problem? It's caster's curves.
Well, caster's curse, is it?
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, just say they have the problem without the Galil, but they just come and take the round.
Yeah, I see how it is.
And you see Loman now with the Max 7 just behind the wall.
If he gets a kill, that's economical boost for the team, and that's something they can work with on the 15th round that they've got. So, Lamy here.
It's going to be finally Kaden with the AVP. I mean, it was a smoke in there. He just got that little pixel to work for, and it utilized it so well.
Barry here with the A1S, and he could spot Shaker out at this stage in the game. They spot Barry
he
out.
Did already.
He goes in for the kill, misses out on a couple of shots. They have the info though, and this is where No Problem are playing in the play that we talked about back in BX3 as well. So that you need to push for the info, and that's exactly something that No Problem wants to do here. They want to make sure they retain that info, and as soon as they do, they remain calm on the side, rely on the fact that okay, SkitLite are going to be pushing us eventually from these and these corners. So just wait for them, and they'll run into your site.
Yeah, exactly. Now Tomsku tries to get use of the AVP on a ramp, but there's no one around that to pick. And again, 30 seconds remaining. They have to execute. And Kadian in top of tickets. He will be taking the Shaker down. And they now are in troubles for SkitLite. Again, they should go and try and save, because it was a 2 versus 5, and they had I believe an AK and this AVP. Apparently it's Domsku trying to save, but there's the Hunterino coming on.
What's important to note here is that SkitLite, a lot of the time, they force themselves into these sites, and I'm feeling like they're not really playing around with the time too much. I mean, sure, if they're fiffling and trying to get info, I mean, they're going out in middle a couple of times, peeking here and there, but
they tried though at the beginning, but the members of No Problem, they were inside the point, and they realized that there's no.
But that's besides the point. What I'm trying to say here is that SkitLite, every single time that we see them rush into the late game of a round, it's because of the fact that they don't work around with the time that they've got. They don't utilize their smokes in the best possible way. They don't try to counter the enemies quick into this game. They wait for them to use these nades, and it's not like, okay, no problem, they're not falling for that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the problem. If you wait for the last 20 seconds to run by, you're going to be forced to push into a side because you need to win that round. 15-11, this is one of those rounds where, okay, if you don't get an entry now, what are you going to get? They've only got a Deagle on Jalu and a smoke on Shaker together with the Tech 9. If he falls down, that's one less of a smoke as well.
Yeah.
So don't go offensive here. Try to play this as smart as you can. Utilize the fact that you know that MP's playing the way they're doing. And this is where, okay, it's a best of one, obviously. So you can't rely on winning another map. So this is where experiment as much as you can in the lower budgets with the enemy team, see how they react to certain things, and
but they have to go all or nada, because it is the last round probably.
But that's something they should have done earlier. That's what I'm talking about. Now, Jalu here, Barry and the gang, they're going for these kills, and SkitLite, they're down.
Lately, it's just being a Skurk taking kills for SkitLite, but this time it is 11-16 for the round, and the match goes for No Problem. I must say, it was an impressive match by Barry. And just let me check out the names. It's Barry and Glaze did an amazing match.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm...
and Cadian, of course, but not counting Cadian.
Something that I noted about Cadian was he had the switch between playing really offensive AWP and defensive AWP. He could go really offensive if he needed to, especially in retake situations. We saw him go really wild, especially in close-range battles, which you wouldn't expect him to. And then again, a lot of the time, especially, that round where we saw, I think it was Glaze go in for the defuse as he held with the AWP. The fact that you utilize his opping skills on a long-range battle defensively is really, really huge.
Exactly.
So they really think of everything, and the economical aspect.
And also about him, he was like moving all around the map. With the AVP, the members of SkitLite, they didn't know where to find him. I mean, he wasn't even in the middle all the rounds. They would go B, short, on an A side, everywhere. Yeah.
So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go over to the analyst desk, see what they have to say about it. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Volti. Thank you so much, Ross. Yeah, guys, that was an incredible game, actually. And even though the scoreline was 16-11, I mean, as you mentioned, it felt like there was a better team all the way, and that was No Problem, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there was kind of a pretty big contrast where you would see a round played out on Mirage where I think it was Loma who's just sticking the bomb, and Cadian was holding an angle on a guy's slope, and the guy comes up and Cadian shoots him. Whereas I am fairly certain that had the roles been switched, then the guy who's defusing would help him out in case the AWPer misses the shot. But Cadian is so confident, and his teammates are so confident in him that he's going to be landing that shot that they don't even care to do it. Whereas there's another round, which I think you were going to be talking about, where it was quite a misplay by SkitLite.
Yeah, they basically had the round. It would have been a huge upset. They had a 1v3 save round. I mean, they were 3 players, but they were in an eco. And it was actually just bad peaks that Glaze abused and got himself to win the round. I mean, they were in 4 peaks where they shouldn't have peaked, and that allowed him to get it done. So I think there were quite a few mistakes by SkitLite as well. Yeah. But overall, good play by No Problem, definitely.
And I mean, very good play by Cadian. We talked about him earlier before the game, and he really delivered. 32 or 33 frags, I think.
Yeah,
something
34,
around that.
I think he actually ended on, yeah.
So yeah, he proves that he's worth talking about pre-game at least. And Also, one thing I was talking about the pistol round. What happened at the first round of the game? Kaden got the 4 kill, and they managed to defuse the bomb in the smoke. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
that is true. Yeah.
Can you talk us through it? Do you remember it?
Yeah, it was. I think it came down to a 2 versus 2 situation where I'm not even quite sure who it was, but someone from the Finnish team decided to smoke off the bomb, and he even had a kit, so he must have bought a kit and a smoke, I assume, and then decided to just stick the bomb. And it's very kind of, it's a good decision because they have pistols. They were even at range. They were playing it from far away because they don't predict that he has a smoke. But Kadian, he couldn't connect the Tech 9 spray through the smoke. And then he kind of just stopped shooting for him because he, I think, assumed that he
spotted
was
another
faking.
player outside of the smoke, and I think he might have thought, yes, I think he thought that this player was the guy that actually started defusing the bomb.
Yeah.
And so he kind of confused unknowingly the two players.
Yeah, I mean, also something I would like to add is, Glaze had a very, very big T side. Something that we noticed. I mean, he had so many good lurks where they would play one side, and then he would be kind of solo on the other side. So either he would take the side or get into great positions by himself, or he would kind of sell it fake, and it would just work out every single time. So I would say for me, man of the match, or man of the first half, would be Glaze, and man of the second half, Kadian, definitely.
Seeing No Problem play right now, and you have been casting the other games, do you have any predictions in the long run for the tournament? Who do you hold as favorites right now, without having seen all the teams? I mean, who has impressed you the most?
I'll let you start.
Okay. I would say Rocket still have an edge. I believe that the close scoreline might fool us into believing No Problem was weaker than they actually are.
All right.
But those shaky rounds, that if SkitLite hadn't made those mistakes, they could have actually won this game as well, One eco round, won, and the other team has to save after that. So suddenly you turn the game upside down, and you have 2 rounds on top of them, instead of being down 3 or 4 rounds. So I think Rocket is slightly on top.
I think on paper, No Problem is the best team, and I think they'll get very far. I think they might go on to win the whole tournament. I think Rocket are definite contenders as well. But I think it's kind of too early to tell in a sense, especially because we haven't seen all of the teams. But those would be the 2 favorites, judging from the 3 matches we've watched so far.
And potentially they could face each other in the final, seeing as they are on 2 different sides on the bracket.
Yeah.
So, well, maybe it's a dream final. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Next game, guys, is the one between the Swedish team Torpedo and Demise, the Norwegian team. We'll be right back with that game after the short commercial break.